In the vast emptiness of space, even the smallest object can become a deadly threat. Imagine a simple astronaut's glove floating silently above Earth, accidentally setting off a chain reaction that could endanger our most vital satellites and even the planet below. It sounds like science fiction, but the potential for disaster is frighteningly real. This incredible story begins way back in 1965. During a routine spacewalk on the Gemini 4 mission, astronaut Ed White made history. He became the first American to step outside his spacecraft and float in the boundless void of space. It was a triumphant moment for humanity, a giant leap in our exploration of the cosmos. But in that historic moment, something unexpected, something almost trivial, happened. A single, spare thermal glove slipped from its tether and drifted away. One moment it was there, a piece of essential equipment, and the next it was gone, floating off into the darkness of orbit. At first glance it seemed harmless, just a lost item in an infinite ocean. But this glove wouldn't just disappear. It would begin a silent journey, circling our planet for weeks, traveling at a staggering speed of over 28,000 kilometers per hour. As this lone glove floated through low Earth orbit, it silently passed by multi-million-dollar satellites, chunks of space debris from old rocket stages, and critical communication systems that we rely on every single day. Normally, space agencies like NASA and the ESA have a sophisticated network of radars and telescopes dedicated to tracking objects in orbit. They keep a close eye on large, defunct satellites and rocket boosters to prevent collisions. But something as small as a glove, just a few inches across, often goes completely unnoticed. It's a ghost on the radar, too tiny to register. Yet we have to remember the physics involved. At the incredible speeds of orbital mechanics, even an object with very little mass, like a glove, carries an immense amount of kinetic energy. It transforms from a soft piece of fabric into a ballistic missile. A collision with a functioning satellite wouldn't be a gentle tap. It would be a catastrophic impact, capable of causing unimaginable damage. The silent journey of this tiny object was a disaster waiting to happen. Now, let's explore a hypothetical scenario. Imagine this. Decades have passed since Ed White's historic spacewalk. It's the present day. A state-of-the-art communication satellite, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, is silently orbiting Earth. It's responsible for providing GPS navigation, global internet, and weather forecasting to millions of people down below. Its mission is routine, its orbit stable. But one quiet night, as it glides over the Pacific Ocean, its path intersects with something from the past. The forgotten glove from 1965, still locked in its orbital dance, crosses its path. The collision is sudden, violent, and completely unexpected. The glove, traveling at 17 times the speed of a bullet, strikes the satellite's delicate communications antenna. It doesn't obliterate the satellite, not at first. Instead, the impact is just powerful enough to bend the antenna, throwing the entire satellite's orientation off by a fraction of a degree. On the ground, mission controllers see a sudden flicker on their screens. Alarms begin to blare. Contact is lost. This slight, almost imperceptible misalignment triggers a cascade of failures. The satellite, now unable to properly orient itself, begins to lose its signal lock with ground stations. It starts to spin slowly, tumbling out of control in the unforgiving vacuum of space. As it tumbles, its solar panels can no longer align with the sun, which is their only source of power. The batteries begin to drain, and within hours the satellite goes dark. It's no longer a sophisticated piece of technology. It has become just another piece of space junk, a dead husk drifting aimlessly. But the danger is far from over. Hours later, this tumbling, multi-ton satellite collides with another inactive satellite in a nearby orbit. The impact is tremendous, shattering both objects into thousands of smaller pieces. A dense cloud of dangerous debris is created, spreading out like shrapnel from an explosion. What started with a single lost glove has now set off a chain reaction, a domino effect in space known as the Kessler syndrome. The orbital highways are now a minefield. As this cloud of shrapnel expands, it threatens every other satellite in its path. But the threat doesn't just stay in orbit. Some of the larger fragments from the collision begin to lose altitude, their orbits decaying as they are pulled downward by Earth's gravity. They begin their fiery descent toward the planet below. While most of these pieces are small enough to burn up completely in the atmosphere, creating a brief, beautiful, but terrifying meteor shower, a few larger fragments are dense enough to survive re-entry. Emergency services and space agencies on the ground scramble to track their trajectory. They are falling over a populated region. Panic begins to spread as sirens wail and alerts flash across phone screens. A global crisis unfolds, evacuations are ordered, and the world holds its breath watching the sky. All of this chaos, all of this danger, was sparked by one single glove, lost in space decades ago, a tiny mistake with planetary consequences. In reality, the glove lost by Ed White in 1965 never caused such a disaster. It's believed to have burned up in the atmosphere a few weeks after it was lost, posing no real threat. But this story, this hypothetical journey, serves as a powerful and sobering reminder. In the high-stakes environment of space, nothing is truly insignificant. A single mistake, a small oversight, can echo through time, creating consequences that no one could have ever imagined. As humanity continues to launch more missions, more satellites, and more people into orbit, the space around our planet becomes more crowded, and the line between safety and chaos grows ever thinner. The story of the lost glove teaches us that every action, no matter how small, has a reaction, and in space, those reactions can be catastrophic. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into the dangers of space debris as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into science and history. Let me know in the comments what other space stories you'd like to see covered. Until next time, stay curious.